Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where today you join me to go and build one of the centerpieces of my new garage. Now what am I talking about? Of course, I am on the hunt for a new location, a private storage, a vault, a man cave, somewhere to keep my cars, my Shmeemobiles. But this is not going to be a case of the cars parked, lined up in a car park. This is going to be something much more personal, filled with memorabilia, with artworks, with pictures, with drawings, with photos, also with different sorts of automotive things. Amongst them will be something you'll know I am a big fan of, model replica cars. In particular though, today we're going to be heading over to Bristol to go and visit the Amalgam Collection, who make the finest of model cars, and in particular I have placed an order for a 1:8 scale McLaren Senna to match my full-size car that is going to be due back in about a week or two. I cannot wait for both of them, but I'm particularly intrigued today to go over to Amalgam. We've got a few stops along the way, driving in the G63, which is absolutely filthy already, and the weather ahead is predicted to be pretty bad today, but we will get there and go and check this out. And believe me, as model cars go, this is pretty special. It might look okay from back here, but the G63 has appropriately become my winter daily driver, and you will see it is looking pretty grimy and dirty up close. Of course, this is the Topaz skin in cerulean blue and the satin navy that matches with the Senna, and also of course matches with the model that we're going to be seeing today. That's kind of a cool touch. But let's hop on board, get this thing fired up. 250 miles or so ahead of me on the roads today to get over to Bristol to go and visit Amalgam, the first time I've ever been in. And check that out, already 4,200 miles on this beast. Let's wake it up, power on, ignition on, and time to hear the sound of the Akrapovic startup. Always a delight in the morning. It barks into life. So a long drive, but a very comfortable car for the purpose. And in fact, it doesn't do too badly on the economy side of things when you are just cruising in this car, of course, with this much power. Let me get the doors closed quickly, very noisy with the exhaust, a proper slam to get those shut. And let's head out and go and visit a first stop along the way to see some pretty nice cars. It is about 9 AM. It hasn't actually been daylight for all that long, but London being London, this morning is just traffic, traffic, and more traffic. Now I'm driving in comfort mode. I am going to take this as a leisurely cruise, and this is a pretty good car to cruise in, to be honest. You might not think it, but comfortable seats, nice electronics, adaptive cruise control. You can just let it roll. It's in comfort mode, which means the exhaust valves are quiet. It's not particularly noisy unless you kind of go manual and do the thing to make it all very noisy. Anyway, it's a long drive. I hope it's going to clear up and not be too bad ahead of me. The navigation, and yes, I'm using Waze on my phone. I know a lot of people say, why don't you use the built-in system even when you have a big screen like this? Well, I like Waze. It's connected, it knows traffic, it's live, it's updated. It's the most predictable way of knowing how long a journey is going to take. And to be honest, I probably don't even need nav for this journey because I do kind of know where I'm going. Anyway, it's going to be a cruise, probably not too much exciting to say, but we are going to make a stop along the way. I'm going to go and visit Topaz Bristol. Now of course, right at this moment my AMG GT4 Pro is at Topaz London, but Topaz also have a facility they have opened in Bristol, and I have never ever been there to visit, and they also have some very nice cars there at the moment. So we're going to go check that out on the way over to Amalgam, and there might be somewhere else I'm going to go as well. We will see. Anyway, for now, a long cruise, 2+ hours, over 100 miles. Let's just get on the road and crack on with it. This is now a little bit more what was expected. Bang on cue, traffic jam, rain, not what you want when you're on a long drive. Unfortunately, this journey that would normally be about 2.5 is probably going to be over 3 hours based on what the navigation says. It's probably going to give me an update in a moment as to how long I'm going to be in this traffic jam, but I mean, it's 50-mile-an-hour average speed check at the best of times. It's going to be a 5-mile-an-hour average if we're lucky right now. And now we have the G63 weather. This is why I did not pull out, say, the GT4 Lusso or something earlier on today for this journey. This is looking pretty miserable. At least I'm through the worst of the traffic. I think I've got about an hour or so to go. But this is, yeah, this is what was expected today. Not exactly the best weather. UK in winter, hey? I have made it here then finally, where it is brutally cold and windy, but we're at Topaz Bristol, their second location that opened about 18 months ago. Inside, some pretty cool things though for us to see today, including a Lamborghini Aventador SVJ in the most epic of specifications, but also another car that is quite interesting to me that I haven't really spent very much time around yet. Let's head straight on in though. It is very chilly outside here, and go and take a look. Come and take a look in here then. where immediately we are greeted by this, the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ Roadster. SVJ Roadster, one of the first, I think, that's actually been delivered, of course, with the removable roof panels, but based on that hardcore version of the Aventador. But look at the spec of this car. The green paintwork, fully covered with paint protection film, detailed, and then the PPF installed by the team here. And in fact, you might be excused for thinking that this looks exactly like the unit back in London, but they've also then added these additional touches, the pinstripes that you can see around the exterior. And this looks spectacular. What a stunning, stunning spec for the Aventador SVJ. Let's continue though through the unit here to have a quick look around where you've got the wash bay, currently with the Lotus being worked on inside there. Over here we've got some nice cars as well, Nissan GTR, Ferrari 488 Pista, Aston V12 Vantage S Roadster, there's a G63, we'll take a look at that in a second, 992 Cabriolet, and this, the Cayman GT4. Now let me come and just pop this up very quickly so we can head on in. I have not spent very much time around the new 718 GT4, but this is one of the colours they offer for it, and it looks stunning. This is the PPF bay, where these cars are getting PPF installed. So they've just done the rear boot lid, you can see being installed, the spoiler that's attached to that. But this car, new GT4, obviously I used to own a 981 GT4, the first generation of the GT4. This I haven't really spent enough time thinking about. Manual gearbox, mid-engine, flat six from Porsche. That is probably going to be quite a special driving experience. I need to get behind the wheel of one. 992 convertible then alongside that. And then this G63, they're doing some interesting PPF on this. Gloss paintwork, but satin PPF. You can convert a car from glossy to satin through the use of the material that you put over the top. Really fascinating to be able to see the direct contrast from one panel to the next with that being worked on. Nice car, belongs to a friend as well. Of course, I mean, look at here. This is a very special lineup. So a cool operation they've got going on here at Topaz Bristol. You can hear some of the detailing going on right there. It's actually a bit strange for me to see the same kind of location as where I was with my GTR Pro, which is currently being worked on over in London. And then here we have this. Just wow, what a car. That thing is extraordinary. Anyway, big thanks to the guys. Quick little visit to have a look around, catch up with the team here. Let's jump back in the G, get back on the road. The one thing I do know is that this car tonight is going to be absolutely disgustingly filthy. In this weather, driving 250 miles, it is going to be a complete mess. Fortunately, it's not too far to go from Topaz Bristol to Amalgam here in Bristol, so I will be there in just a couple of minutes. I am currently a kid in a candy store. I'm here at the workshop at Amalgam Collection, where they assemble their bespoke projects. We're going to be taking a look around, including at my future model, but to show you some of the highlights, right here we have the Lamborghini Miura in the bright green. Alongside we have some Ferrari Formula 1 cars. Opposite those, have a look at this, the complete primer parts kit for a 1:8 scale McLaren Senna. This, across the two tables, is about 1,000 pieces, which in total takes 300 hours to build. 100 hours of that are the assembly. I will show you through some of the interesting pieces of this in a second. We have some classic cars just here, the likes of the 300 SL Gullwing. We've got a 250 Testarossa. The detail of that is incredible. You can spot the McLaren Speedtail just over there. Coming this way, we have some completed McLaren models as well. At the front, the McLaren F1 in McLaren orange. This is the XP1 LM, and have a look at some of the details of this. Check out the engine bay back here, and even spot through the window just there, you can see those headsets for the occupants, even those kind of details on the model. Behind that, inside the box, we have the Tarocco Orange 650S Coupe. This is the way they're presented on the carbon style base with the clear box that's over the top of them. And then we have the Senna, and this was the show model, one of 499 special editions that Amalgam are making of it. But have a look at the detail of this. This is Myra Orange, the launch colour of the Senna, with the blue calipers, but you can see the carbon fibre on the wing, you can see the mechanism exposed. Have a look at the interior. The carbon side pieces, you've got all the details as well for the dashboard, the steering wheel. You've even got the racing harnesses in the seats, if you can just see those. And it operates as well. The doors open and close. And the gas struts actually that they use for this are particularly interesting. I'm going to show you those in a second. That is what mine is going to become. But now let me show you then, right here, a very cerulean blue 1:8 scale Senna. The cerulean blue with the satin blue carbon fibre as well for the other components. This is going to be the centrepiece in my garage. Now let me show you through some of the details then. They've got the whole body shell, which of course has the three different colours, the gloss black for the top, the MSO cerulean blue, and the satin blue carbon. And they get all the specifications direct from the manufacturer. So in this case, the spec of my car comes straight from MSO. You can see the two door panels currently awaiting the windows to be installed. We've got lots of other components. You can see some of the blue carbon. I think that's the end plate of the wing, for example. We've got some of the brakes, the MSO silver brake calipers as well that I did bespoke for my car. That was a custom option and actually a very expensive option on the full production vehicle. We've got the dashboard. You can see the dashboard here, the exposed carbon, the Alcantara that goes over the top of it. You've even got the Senna embroidery here on the top of the headrests. These are all the seat pads that go into the seat frames. You've got some of the mechanical components as well. Here, the dual layer of the wing, the blue carbon of the wing, spotting some of the engine bay. This is cool. This is the piece, obviously, the rear mesh that sits at the very back of the car. The louvers over the top of the engine bay, the splitter around the front. That thing is huge. The front splitter of this car is massive, and some of the underbody components, the diffuser as well at the back. This is really cool to look at in detail. You've got some of the engine, the frame, the exhaust system. We've got the wheels, of course, the tyres, some more of the blue parts, my number plates naturally, and even, let me show you this very quickly, even at the very bottom, if you can just see that, my quote from Ayrton Senna, "I have no idols, I admire work, dedication and competence." Props to them for doing that. A very, very nice touch. This then has about 100 hours of work to go. Think about that. Quite a long time. Very labour intensive, and of course it brings a price tag to match. But this, I always dreamt of having an amalgam model, 1:8 scale. The company's been making models for a decade or two or so now. They started with Formula 1 cars, hence the likes of the Ferrari cars that you see around here, but now moving as well into the GT cars. I'm going to come and show you these in a bit more detail over here as well. So the 300 SL, very special to me after my outing on the Mille Miglia in one of those, the original Gullwing. But look at this, a 250 Testarossa. This is the Lucy Belle, a model of the car that raced and came 7th in the Le Mans in 1958. But the special thing about this model is that it is replicated in terms of the dirt and the damage and the scratches on the model as to the photos of the real car. They customize and make this that level of bespoke, but all of the damage on it, have a look around the back. The oil marks, the dirt. This is a work of art. This isn't just a model car. This is an absolute work of art to look at in person. And it started like this. Huge amounts of investment and work hours, about 4,000 hours to develop the entire kit, that then is going to become the final model. It starts like this, which they beautifully presented so that I could take a look at it today to see how mine started out. We're now at the middle stage, as you can see here, with all of the parts in the correct colours, all ready to be assembled, and ultimately it is going to finish looking like this. I can't wait to have that in the garage, proudly displayed in the centre somewhere. This is going to be really, really nice. If you're a model car person, this opportunity to see all of this is very, very special, and I can't thank Amalgam enough for allowing me to come and share this with you and see some of these. For now though, it will be a little bit of work. Hopefully we'll see it at some point into the new year, Christmas time coming, and I can't wait until that is all finished. I said that I would show you a little bit more about the gas struts for the doors. So we have these two pieces here. This is the visual representation of the gas struts like on the production car. This, though, is what they had to incorporate into the bodywork to actually support the weight of the doors. Let me come and show you this. I'm fascinated by how they've had to do this. So you can see the gas struts here, which on my car are painted cerulean blue. That obviously acts as well. You can see the way it's operating as a piston, but there's actually a gas strut here as well inside to actually support the weight of that door as you open and close it, and you can keep them closed, of course. All of those details to make this work entirely. And just to come back around, a few other things just to point out as well. Of course, lots of screws and other bits and pieces. You can see here the windows going all around the car, on the roof as well. They actually get trimmed out to size. One other thing I didn't mention just here, this is the Autosports Award piece that they have, the sculpture, which I always think is really cool. I have the one from last year, from when I attended the Autosport Awards. So this is all going to come together, and I cannot wait to see that completed. What an awesome opportunity to go and visit Amalgam to see inside the workshop where they create some of their more bespoke projects, but Amalgam make those large-scale models for the likes of Bugatti, Pagani, Ferrari, McLaren. They do the Formula 1 cars, they do classic cars, they do one-offs, and of course they are now doing a McLaren Senna to match the Shmeemobile. I am very excited. You'll know I'm a big fan of model cars. I've shown them quite a few times in my own collection, but this is my first ever 1:8 scale, and Amalgam make the very best in terms of their match to the actual specifications, in terms of the quality, the finish, the number of pieces, and the way it all comes together. So I can't wait for this to arrive, like I said, to be a centerpiece in the office part of my future garage. The man cave, the vault, the cave, whatever we're going to call it. There will be, I think, an office corner where I'll have a kind of sit-down area, a place where I can film some videos, and of course, this is going to be on display, pride and center. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that somewhere in the new year when it's all finished, when it's been put together. It's going to take some time, it's a lot of work. I've been learning a bit about it and finding out as well about some exciting things that they're working on. So awesome to visit Amalgam, to be able to go. A huge thanks to them for the opportunity. I can't wait to share when this is finished. It's a personal thing for me. I've always dreamt, I guess, of my own Amalgam model when I've seen them in other collections, some of the places I've visited at shows, at events, and now there is going to be one in the future Shmee 150 garage. For now though, I'm actually heading to another location not too far away in connection with something that I alluded to in a video a couple of days ago. So an offer has been presented to me for a sports car, nothing that's brand new to market. Of course, it's a good deal, that's why we're talking about it. It's a couple of years old, but a car where the deal is almost a bit of a no-brainer. It is exceptionally tempting, and I'm gonna go and have a look, have a little chat about this, and well, you never know. It might turn out to be the case that something spontaneous is going to be arriving in the collection without much of an advanced plan. We shall see. The deal is that good. Anyway, I'm going to have to keep that a little bit secretive for now. I can't go into all of the details. Maybe you will see something, maybe you won't. Please don't yell at me if there isn't something new, because you never know, and at the end of the day, it's a luxury, it's not a necessity. I think we can happily agree. For the time being though, I will crack on, continue with my drive over there, not too far to go now, and then it will be onwards towards London a little bit later on. Fast forward, I am back home. That was a pretty long day. I made many phone calls after the visit, but I have some slightly frustrating news. It is not going to be very straightforward. There is a little hiccup in terms of the deal, so that might not be happening. We shall see in the coming days. I will of course let you know. Today though, a big outing in the G63, which is now, well, kind of even grimier than it was earlier on today. This is either going to need a big clean-up, or we could keep going and get it absolutely filthy, as a car like this should be. Actually, look at the colour of the wheels. Those are supposed to be cerulean blue. They now look like a murky kind of dirty seawater. Yeah, a bit different, a bit dirty. Anyway, this car, for that kind of journey, very comfortable, a proper cruiser, to be honest. And it's done, if you're wondering, UK 18 miles per gallon on today's outing. So it's not exactly great, but it's not a disaster. It's no worse than taking the Ferrari GT4 or something. Even though if you think about the front of this, it's basically a gigantic slab, and it's a very heavy car to be transporting down the motorway. Anyway, super cool to pop into Topaz Bristol earlier. Super cool to go over to Amalgam to see the Senna in the works. More to come with that. I can't wait to eventually receive the final model, and then of course one final visit that's a little bit secretive for now. Here we are then. I'm exhausted. I need to head upstairs. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support. As always, guys, it's really appreciated. That is it for now, though, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.